What's good, everybody? I'm Dave Pierce alongside Tyler Galicia, and this is Nonstop Black Talk for the Black Talk Wiffle League located in Auburn, Massachusetts. But this week, we're not in Auburn, Massachusetts. We are in beautiful, sunny LA. That's Laconia, New Hampshire. Tyler, tell the people what you got.
Well, we had two makeup games, and let's just jump you right into the action with the first week makeup game of the week, which was between the Detroit Tigers and the San Diego Padres. The game matched up Dave Pierce going for his BTWL record 9th win to move to a clean 9-0, which would break Tony Sciarraffa's record of 8 wins. There to try and stop him was the 3-3 Tony Sciarraffa. The game started out on a speedy pace, and that was unrelenting as the two exchanged scoreless frames until the top of the fourth, when A.J. Lindstrom doubled, and Tony doubled right after him to drive him in. Unfortunately, that's all the Tigers could muster up, as Tony got gunned down at the plate as he tried to advance beyond third following his hit. This would prove to be enough for Tony as he continued to dominate the Caden-less Padres lineup, and through 5.5 innings he was perfect, watching 11 batters come to the plate and retiring them all. Then Tom Sarkisian stepped up to try and end Tony's perfect game bid and save the day for the Padres. He proceeded to belt the pitch down the left field line and tie the game up, thus making history wait for another game. Following this, the game was expected to see some immediate scoring with the easy-throwing Ben Rogan taking the bump for the Padres and Paul Latino coming in for the Tigers. However, they managed to make it to the 12th inning, keeping the game tied at 1, until Rogan stepped up for his team in the bottom half and sent a deep drive to left where Sciarraffa was playing, and he made an excellent catch to continue the game. Yet that was all for nothing as Pierce came to the plate next and bombed a solo shot to left off Latino to give the Padres a walk-off 2-1 victory. The game finished in remarkable time in just under an hour and a half considering 12 innings were played, and not a single batter reached base via a walk.
In the second makeup game of the week, the 5-3 Tyler Galicia was on the bump for the Nationals against the 4-3 Caden Bengtson. After a solo home run by Dave Pierce in the first inning, Galicia and Bengtson found themselves in a classic pitcher's battle. Each pitched brilliantly, with Galicia allowing 1 earned with 6 hits and no walks through the first 6 innings, and Bengtson having a shutout through 5.5. Until Antonio Leatham stepped to the plate with 1 out in the 6th and hit a high outside rise ball to dead center on a towering shot, sending Pierce on his horse to the track on the fly. Pierce hustled and came up narrowly short, lunging into the grass and watching the homer bounce off his hands and landing safely for Antonio's leading of the league, 12th homer of the year, and sending the game into extras. But as Galicia began to tire, leadoff man Ben Rogan came to the plate and lined a solo shot over the long left. Pierce and Bengtson then followed that to go back to back to back, all oddly similar line drives, which narrowly cleared the long left. Bengtson came back on in the 7th to close the door and send the BTWL best Padres to a 15-3 record on the year.
Blacktop Wiffle Ball is shown to be a very competitive league in New England. Rookies coming into our league find it very hard to adapt to our playing styles. Kyle Reese, on the other hand, said it wasn't a problem. He proved that with a .439 batting average in 2011. Playing for the Detroit Tigers, Tony Sciarraffa actually made a decent pick here. It's unlikely for a rookie to show such potential in our league, and he has shown that by hitting 5 home runs, having 12 ribbies, and only sitting down with 9 Ks. That's pretty successful if you ask me. He shows for high draft stock, probably early 2nd round, if his marriage doesn't seem to get in the way. Kyle Reese is a great fielder, great batter, and has shown some potential on the bump. Kyle Reese could fan out, or he could be a very successful player in our league. We're gonna have to see. He's also a switch hitter, and that might boost his draft stock by 2 or 3 people. We'll have to see how things play out for Kyle Reese.
Hello there, and welcome to the debate table, but that's debatable. This is Jim Sarkisian. I'm Tyler Galicia, and we're here to talk about some awards.
That is right. We have 6 awards we usually do every year, but this year we threw 3 more awards at you. We have the Gold Glove, Comeback Player, Rookie of the Year, Silver Slugger, Cy Young, and MVP. So Tyler, I think we should start with the Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
We didn't have one last year.
We didn't know. There was only 1 rookie last year. But this year we have 3. We have Paul, we have Jack, and we have Kyle.
Well, let's throw Jack out. He didn't really do
Yeah, I mean, he played 2 games, really did nothing for the White Sox.
Yeah.
And we have
three games. Hit 182.
oh, there you go. 182, not very.
Then we got Paul.
He showed up for a lot of games this year.
He showed up. He was reliable. 12 games, hit 278.
Yep.
You know, he could get on base.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
He's good. He crouches the plate.
Yeah.
You really can't
Inside
throw those
pitch,
inside
too.
pitches, yeah. And we have Kyle, who, I mean, we just heard that he's one of the better players in the league.
He has really stepped up, and he looks good this year.
Yeah.
So I would say this will come down to a Paulatino Kyle Reese showdown.
I agree to that. Next, we have the comeback player. And that is the award that I guess it's, you have a bad year the year before, you come back and you do a lot better. So, I mean, we have Ben Rogan, AJ, and Jimbo Sarkeesian.
AJ, he was pretty awful the last 2 years. No offense, AJ, but hit .078 last year, I believe it was.
That, by
And
far, is the worst
he
ever.
is up at 307 to end this year. Showed up to every game, hit 3 home runs, which is 3 more than I believe he hit the last
3
3
seasons?
years.
I think so. I think he got 3 seasons. No
13
home runs.
RBI. He looked good. He still struck out a lot, but that's part of his game.
Yep.
So
He's
he
a
had
great leadoff hitter for the Tigers. Great leadoff hitter.
Ben Rogan
Another good leadoff hitter.
bounced back here.
Yeah.
Didn't strike out. He is notorious for striking out
Exactly.
many a
I
time.
love pitching to Ben, but not this year.
But he only struck out, let's see, 15 times this year.
He started off real slow. Only had 4 hits in the
Yeah.
first 8 games.
And then he finished with
Poured
28.
on. Poured on the hits at the end.
329.
3 home runs. Yep, 3 home
13
runs.
RBI.
Yep.
Solid. And then we have
Myself.
Jim Sarkeesian.
Yeah.
Also had a solid year.
Not pitching, but mostly hitting.
Yeah. Well, you can bounce back with the bat a little bit.
My hitting last year was like 150, 160.
Pretty bad.
Next, we have a Gold Glove. Now, we award Gold Gloves based on plays made in the field along with errors. An error would be a dropped ball or through the legs. So, we have about 6 or 7 candidates we want to talk about. We have Connor Rogan, Tony Sciarraffa, Dave Pierce, Keith Leatham, yourself, Tyler, Caden, and Antonio Leatham.
All solid.
All
Very viable options.
great plays all around.
Minimal errors.
Very minimal.
You just could really look at the body of work, games played to errors, who made some nice plays in the field, who made some memorable plays.
This is also the year, too. We're going to be adding 2 more Gold Gloves to this.
That's right.
We had 2
2 more
last
than
year. We're going to have
usual.
4. 4 awards this year.
4 from any league, so just best fielding all around
Yeah.
will get you a Gold Glove.
One player that stands out above the rest would have to be Connor Rogan, I think, in my
yeah.
opinion.
Great plays.
I mean, he did have 2 errors, but one of them was a dropped home run that he dove over the fence for. I mean, come on. It's pretty good. Next, we're going to move on to Silver Slugger. We have a tight battle. A lot of good hitters this year. Connor, Greg, Davis, Antonio, and Caden. All solid hitters. Antonio, probably the best batting year in recent years.
He was pretty dominant for the first really 3/4 of the year. Kind of tailed off a little bit, but he still ended up with 12 home runs and 30 RBIs. I mean,
Exactly.
that speaks for itself.
Exactly.
Caden also bounced back. He started slow, but he had a good year. 398 with
Greg's average, too.
Greg hit
Greg's
through the roof.
best OBP in the history of the game this year.
That's a lot.
645. Next, we move to Cy Young. We have Dave, Caden, and Keith. All
Very-
aces of the pitching staffs.
And of course, 2 of those aces are on one team, which is very inconvenient.
That's why they
for the rest of the league.
have a lot of wins.
Right.
But Dave, every year, 8-0. 8-0 this year. Ties the record.
With a sparkling, what was it? 1 point. What this? 1.27 ERA. That's
Pretty
and to
good,
say that's
pretty
not
good.
even his career low.
No, not yet. But also Keith, too. Keith had a low ERA.
Walked 10 batters all year.
10.
I'm pretty sure I had 9 walks in one game once. So
I'm pretty sure he walked me about 7 times.
that's
So, yeah.
about right.
And then, so yeah, MVP. MVP's the best player for their team.
And probably those 3 players again. man.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Runner-up.
Dave Pierce proven it all year. Keith, Caden,
Keith
and
Buchanan, team.
yep.
Who knows what the Tigers would be without Keith? You could say you could take one of the Dave or Caden off the Padres, they'd still be a dominant force, but you take one of those players off, and I don't know, but
Should
all
be.
good options. But
I can't wait to see the results. Can't wait.
whoever is the runner-up will probably end up with the Cy Young,
Yeah.
since they're all in the same boat. But many awards to be established, and it's going to be
Yeah.
a good race for all of them. And now we are going to toss it over to Tony, who has his new segment, which was recently titled Tony's Reports, but it is now Touching Bases with Tony, as he will now touch first, second, and third base with his opinions on the BTWL.
Thank you, Jim and Tyler. This is Touching Bases with Tony Sciarraffa, and I'm bringing you around the bases with 4 different subjects. first base, I want to talk about the last place Chicago White Sox with 15 losses. Jimbo, come on, step it up. Secondly, I want to talk about the Padres with the 15 wins. That's a great record. They could have done better. They have the two best players in the BTWL, and they're both MVP candidates. Are you kidding me? They should get all 18 wins. But they do suck, so they're really not that great, and they can blow it in the postseason. That's what we play for, postseason baseball. Third base, playoffs. Let's talk about the first matchup, is the Tigers and Nationals. Personally, I think the Tigers are going to take this series. It all depends on if Tony Sciarraffa can get it done on the mound in the first game. Because if Tyler steals that game and going into game 2 with Antonio on the mound, that's going to be a tough matchup because Antonio took that first game against the Keith, and I honestly think it depends on that first game. If they win that first game, then we're definitely taking the series and going to the championship. Going home, I want to talk about the Padres and the White Sox series. This is going to be a surprising series because I think the Padres, I think they won the last 5. Oh, actually, never mind. They didn't win the last 5 years. They only won the first year and haven't won since with the 2 MVP candidates, Caden and Davis Pierce. And I think Jimbo, if he can get it done like he did last year in the postseason, they're taking this game in 2. I expect a great 2011 BTWL playoffs. And this is Touching Bases with Tony Sciarraffa, and I'm sending you back to the desk.
Thank you for joining us in week 3 of Nonstop Blacktop on location in Laconia, New Hampshire. For my colleague Dave Pierce, I'm Tyler Galicia. Join us next week as we hope to discuss what has already happened in the postseason and what is going to happen in the postseason.
I can't wait for the playoffs. What about you?
I'm pretty pumped.
Me too. Check us out at leaguelineup.com/AuburnWhip and Facebook.com/BlacktopWhiffleBall if you want to weigh in. Peace out.